Hi, it's Chris at the Quilter's Nook in Versailles, Indiana, and we are ready for a new tool in our Studio 180 Technique series. This tool you may think you don't need, but have you ever made a four patch and it's just a little off, just a little wonky, doesn't quite fit in your block the way you want it to? You might want to consider the four patch square up tool. And you would think, oh, I don't need that. I can make a four patch. You might be surprised. I made a whole bunch of four patches one time for a project and they were just a hair off, not quite straight. I wish I had this tool. This tool has 3 sections on it. So you have the sizing chart right here. So it will tell you the finished size of your block and what size strips to cut. And these are all oversized by about 1/4 of an inch, okay? So that you don't have to worry about having it just perfect, because we always like to cut things down. And then you also have the 1/2 inch finished size trimming. You have the full inch finished size trimming. And what you have on here on both sides is these little dots. Can you see those little circles? Those are to help you put your block correctly in the center. You have dashed lines, which help with your seam allowances, and the solid lines are your square up marks. So let's make some four patches. So I'm going to make a 4-inch finished four patch today. So I have cut my strip. And just because I'm not going to make many blocks, I cut it in half. So these strips, it tells you to cut at 2 3/4, because that's what my 4-inch finished block size is going to be. So that's what these strips were cut at. We're going to put them together so that they're opposite, because we're making strip sets, right? So you're going to sew these 2 strips together. I just cut it apart. You can leave it whole and make 2 strips if you want to. But then we're going to put them together, nest our seams nicely there. And then we are going to cut them into 2 3/4 inch pieces. Okay. And I like to keep a line on my sewing line so that I know I'm keeping my unit as straight as possible. So 2 3/4 and cut. And you're going to do that throughout your strip for as many blocks as you need. You're going to make your seam, okay, sew all the way down your seam, and you will have a unit. Well, let's do this one. That looks like this, okay? You can, when you press this, you can press it open, you can press to one side, or you can twist the seams. And if you've never twisted a seam before, we're going to take this center and we're going to push it kind of the way it wants to go. This one wants to go this way. So this side of the seam is going to be pushed this way. This side of the seam will be pushed this way. And you just kind of twist and you get a nice little mini 4 patch right in the center. Kind of cool. All right. Now we are ready to trim this guy up. So since I'm making a 4-inch finished, I'm going to look on my tool and find the 4 circle. Okay, that tells me it's a 4-inch finished unit. And I'm going to put that 4 right there. This one has already been trimmed up so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, you've got the 4 in the center. We got our lines on the outside. Let's do this guy that's he's been manhandled a little bit, so we'll see if we can get him squared up here. Oh, that's not too bad. So my 4 is in the center. My dashed lines are on my seam lines. And you got these little hash marks that kind of help as well. Keep everything square. And we're going to cut and cut. Turn him all the way around. And now you've got your 4.5 inch square up lines. You put on the outside edge like we always do. Your 4 is still in the center. Your seam lines are right across there. Trim, trim. And you have a perfect 4 inch 4-patch. Not too bad. I think this is a really fun tool. I made a quilt that used a lot of 4 patches. And I didn't have this tool at the time. And I kind of wish I had, because it would have made them a lot easier to work with and a lot cleaner, crisper little look. But, so this is called Galaxy, this quilt. And we have that pattern. If you're interested in that pattern, we have that. Anything that works with 4 patches, any patterns, this 4-patch square up tool will work great. So that is our main 4-patch square up. We have 2 technique sheets that work with this tool, and we'll get to those in the next couple weeks. Have a good day.